Welcome, everyone. Lovely to see everyone. It's quite funny that I think of this as work, but when it's my only thing on the calendar for the week, kind of feels a little bit like, you know, that obligation. I have to make sure that I'm in the house, that I'm awake, I look presentable. It's just kind of like going to work. It's not like teaching though, because well, it is a bit like my teaching, but teachers are meant to prepare their lessons, to know what they're going to teach, to have a lesson plan. So in that sense, there's no preparation required. That's nice. And it is still unbelievable that life doesn't require any preparation. Because regardless of all your preparation, you could never be prepared. You might have noticed that already. If you haven't, you should have done. Life is regardless of your best laid plans. Life's much easier than I was taught. By easier, I mean that it doesn't need any planning, preparation. If you're going on a trip, it's best to book a flight, I guess. But you really can't be prepared. And it still surprises me that that's okay. Having spent a lifetime of anxiety, which anxiety is just overthinking and hoping that the overthinking will make it all work out the way that I hope it will. And it is still, can still really be very surprising that none of that is necessary at all. No one was ever listening. No one was ever taking notice of my thoughts. Just more thoughts taking notice of those thoughts. The universe isn't interested in you. It doesn't have your best interests. It's not looking out for you. And although that sounds a negative, it's not at all. That really does feel loving. It's the strangest kind of love. It's not a loving that I would have ever dreamt of. This couldn't care less kind of love. And yet, that is the unconditional love. Other selves care what you do and what you say. They'll tell you as well. So you don't need to worry about that either. Because if they like what you do, then they'll tell you, hopefully. And if they don't like what you do or what you say, then they'll definitely tell you. So you don't have to concern yourself with that either. That's a relief. Life isn't happening to you. Life isn't happening for you or against you. Just life seeming to happen. And even the happening, which is all there is, all we have of that is what seems to be happening. There's no knowing what's happening. And not knowing can be disconcerting. It can be terrifying. But there really is nothing to fear, because the illusion was that you knew, that you do know, that anyone knows. Don't ask me how it's doubtless that no one knows. I don't know that. But I don't doubt it. So there's no doubt that I don't know. And there's no doubt that you don't know. And there's no doubt that no one knows. No one has ever known. No one could know. And that feels like the end of the road, the end of the journey. And again, that can feel very disconcerting in not knowing where to go. What the fuck am I going to do now? There's no road. I can't see the road. I can't see what's ahead. Whereas I lived in the illusion that I could. That's who I was. That's who I am. I is the illusion that I've traveled this far. I've come to this place, and now I must journey onward. Well, it may have hit you occasionally, and sometimes it might stick, that you never went anywhere. You never traveled. You haven't arrived where you are, and you can't leave. And then it might feel like the end of all the escape plans that you've hatched throughout your life, all become redundant, all just become fairy tales. And the fairy tales remain. The stories don't go anywhere. You can still tell all the stories of where you've been. You can still tell all the stories of your successes and your failures, your achievements and your downfall. But they mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just beautiful stories. Really, we have nothing else to share. And so the stories are liberated. Free to be what they are. Just stories. But this doesn't move. This is unmoving, regardless of all the movement. Well, it's great to see you all. If you'd like to ask anything, just put your hand up. If you'd like to share anything.
Sequoia here. That was lovely, Tim.
Sorry, who's that? Who said that?
Sequoia. Sequoia.
Hi, Sequoia. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I just was saying that was lovely.
Oh, thank you.
The draw, if there needed to be a reason, the draw here is the poetry. That every word you speak is poetic here.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I always wish my English teacher could hear that. She'd
be duly impressed. She'd be duly impressed.
Well, no, she would be aghast. She would be, I don't know what she would make of it while I'm just pissing about at the back of the class, you know, passing cigarettes along the back row. And then I end up, every word I say is poetic. I don't think she would have expected that.
Razia has a hand up.
Hi, Razia.
Hi. Okay, today I want to ask a question. Like, I mean, what changes? Because is it your perception of the world that changes, or is it this physical world that's around us that's changing?
Well, everything changes and nothing doesn't change.
Yeah. Yeah, because like prior to this, I could look around and it was like everyone was having problems and there was like so much of unhappiness and things like that, you know. You're looking at people not being that satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like you're looking around and people are looking much happier, more at ease. People are like laughing. And then, you know, when you spoke about love, on Sunday I realized that, I mean, that there's really no love.
No.
Yeah. No, yeah. And it was like my daughter and I went to the beach, and then we were walking on this cliff. And on there was a path carved into the rock, and it was a bit dangerous. So she was holding me and walking me to the other side, you know, because she didn't want me to fall into the water. It was so amazing, yeah. And then we got to the other side, and then I told her, "Be careful when you're going back." But this it was just like an automatic thing, you know. Be careful. It just came out. It's like everything is like just done like without a real thinking behind it, you know? And
Oh, yeah.
I was just
Well,
looking at her and there was no love there, you know? It was just like this emptiness. And yeah, and the funny things I got back now, I'm sitting there and thinking about this. That I felt nothing. Like I just said, be careful. And normally as a mother, I would stand there and watch till she gets back. And no, it was just, I mean, she's going to be okay, you know? And I couldn't do much about it. So yeah, that's like, it's just, everything is just happening. And it's just, nothing is being taken like personally anymore. It's just, and you can see like the outer world is changing somehow. Like when I go to feed the birds and the birds are so happy. Like before they would wait for me to throw the seeds there, then wait a while and then they would come, you know, and now they just there before I'm even leaving, you know. I don't know. So that's why it's like I feel that things around me are changing. But I don't know if it's just my perception now, you know. Like how
well,
I'm perceiving the world is different, you know, from how I did before. Because of my
well,
conditioning.
it's only different if you compare it, isn't it?
Yeah. And which we shouldn't be doing, I suppose.
I mean, you have to try and remember how it used to feel in order to say whether it's changed or not.
Yeah. That's
It's
how
always
I feel like things are changing and
the
it's
truth is
become better. So
the truth is this is always changing, and it's always the
yeah.
same.
And even the love bit now. Okay, when I came back from there, and then my daughter was with me and she was talking and stuff. Then I went on Facebook. And then I realized that I was merely reciprocating the love that others had for me, you know? Like if they came and they made a comment that was nice, and some of them would say, I love you and stuff. And I would reciprocate that. I could feel that coming out of me. But it was not my love, you know? And
Mm.
what I felt was merely just reciprocating this kind of love. So, yeah, what you said is that there is no love.
No, there is no love. There's only love.
Yeah. That somehow we are just interacting with others and simply being who they are, like somehow, I don't know. Like if someone is angry, you feel the anger. If they're happy, you feel that, you know? And there is this like a better, like my maid came back the other day and she was a bit upset. I could feel that, you know, her upsetness. Yeah.
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 Oh, thanks, Rosie.
Uzma has a hand up.
Listen.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been listening to your videos or watching your videos for years now, since the COVID pandemic started, and this is my first time here, live Zoom meeting. So,
Well, that's lovely to see you here.
thank you.
Well, you've been coming as long as I've been doing it then, because that's when you
Oh.
started in the pandemic.
Cool. Life has gotten, ever since I discovered this non-duality business, I've been oscillating between like clarity and confusion. And like right now, I feel like there's this intensity that I don't know what to do with, like just a lot of confusion. And I've been just sitting with that, like there's nothing I can do about this. And yet like there's this urge to like do something to solve it. And it's just hard. So it's been really hard. My husband and I, we are psychedelic facilitators, like guides, and I've found like a lot of I guess like it's really helped me with my social anxiety. Like I wouldn't be able to talk to you right now if I hadn't done that. But then I'm like, is that really true? Like, what does that even mean? And what am I doing with my life? Like, why bother doing this work? Like, I'm like losing motivation, but also getting confused because like I feel like that something happened, and yeah, I don't know if you have any reflections on that.
Well, yeah, it's very familiar. There's the sense of, remember, it's self that wants clarity. This, what I'm speaking about, isn't about clarity. Not how the clarity is normally understood by self, which is understanding. So the clearer my understanding, the closer I am to whatever I fantasize I could come to, truth, reality, the absolute. So if I have absolute clarity, then I am one with the absolute. That's the story self tells itself. Whether you say self or mind or thinking loves clarity.
Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with clarity whatsoever. I might even suggest confusion is much closer than clarity. There we go. So, because it isn't any closer, because there is no closer, but it isn't further away. So the story goes, in confusion, I've moved away, and in clarity, I'm moving towards. Bullshit. Just mind stories, just thought stories. The clearer my thinking, the closer I am. The greater my understanding, the closer I am. The more confusion, I've moved away again.
And I can't like take this and try to figure out.
I mean, this isn't helpful. What I'm saying, I'm just all I'm suggesting is that there is an allure, there is an attraction that clarity has. Now, I was really attracted by that word. There was a beautiful speaker. God, I've got my memory is so shot to bits. Darren, help me out.
No,
Lovely,
he wrote that essay, Clarity.
the lovely gardener who's
Yeah.
clarity all the time.
Yeah,
You know exactly who I mean.
I know who. Nathan Gill.
Nathan Gill. Gill, and he wrote this book on clarity, and I was obsessed with it. I read it, a bit like when Michael talks about his dog-eared books that, you know, just had writings in the margins, underlining, emphasizing, highlighter pens, because what mind is doing is getting closer to clarity. Well, there is nothing to be clear about or confused. So my motivation for saying this to you is that there is no difference between clarity and confusion. It's just that self likes one a lot more than the other.
Yeah.
And when I say confusion may be closer, it's because there's no clarity to be had. You know, the water is water, regardless of whether it's muddy or clear. Muddy water, the clear waters are no less water. It's like that. This is equally clarity and confusion. And one's not better than the other. One, you might say one's preferable. But if you think I found the answers and I found clarity, then I'm very happy to dispel that. Absolutely, I have no clarity at all. Really, it's like a total resignation of the one who demanded that they know. I don't know how or why that one just lay down and he never got up. He never sought clarity ever again. And it's almost like the confusion becomes clear. Because there is nothing but the confusion. So you could say then, if the confusion is just as clear as the clarity, then the demand for clarity evaporates. And I can genuinely say I don't really know the difference now. And by that, what I mean is I kind of do intellectually, but I couldn't tell you whether I'm confused or clear. I don't really know. And I don't care. I think that's the crux. The crux is self really fucking cares about that. Because I tell myself the story that clarity equals success and confusion is failure. It's not true.
And other selves prefer clarity over confusion. So in my mind, it's better for relationships to have clarity than confusion.
Oh, absolutely. Most people expect you to be clear. So others' expectation, that's powerful. You know, we're heavily conditioned that that's a powerful thing. You need to know what you want, what your goals are. You know, that kind of practical clarity. And I guess in practical terms, that's relatively useful, all of that. But in this pursuit, I think maybe I just don't see it of any benefit whatsoever. Because nothing is a benefit. There's no possibility of getting any closer. The confusion is no different. Apart from for you, and you don't like being confused. I guess there are different types of confusion. Confusion can be uncomfortable. But in a way, I mean, I say not knowing or unknowing, And really, you could translate that as confusion, couldn't you? And clarity is knowing. I'm not speaking about knowing.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Osman.
Natalie has a hand up.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi. Hi. Well, I've always been confused. I've always been confused, and I was always looking to others to help unconfuse me.
Yeah.
And because I thought that they could add like an experience or any kind of like, you know, one of these revelations could add or take away from me, you know, from this thing that I called myself.
Yeah.
It's like that could never even happen, you know, that just could never happen, you know. And then there's like the crazy thoughts like, well, without everything, what is the separate individual anyway? Nothing. I mean, without everything, what is a separate individual? I mean, it's the same, you know?
Yeah.
It's totally just the same. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that whole just, you know, being brought up in a Christian home, there was like this thought of an absolute.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was so confused, because I was like, well, how does everyone else know about this absolute? And it doesn't seem right. And I guess, you know, it was just looking to others to try to tell me how to be, how to live, as if
Yeah.
they could do that, you know,
Yeah.
as if, yeah. And I was just always so apologetic for the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions, like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'd even be like, oh, what's wrong with me? And it's so funny because there's nothing wrong with anything, you know?
No. And it's not just Christianity, but most of
No.
us here were brought up in a Christian culture. And Christianity is very much about being sorry. It's like one life is one long apology.
I know, it was horrible.
I'm just constantly apologizing for being as I am.
What
Knowing
the hell?
full well that I can't be other than I am, but having to deny that because everyone tells me I can be other than I am.
Right.
I've been told it since I was 3 years old that you can be better. And we wonder why we go through, nearly every self I know has gone through life feeling not good enough, faulty, a sinner. I mean, the whole notion of a sinner, it's criminal.
It doesn't even make sense.
There's a crime against humanity.
Among all the crimes against humanity.
I mean, it's one thing that adults are sinners, but the whole original sin, so children are sinners too.
Oh yeah, they're born into sin.
Oh God.
Oh, God help me.
God help us.
God help us all.
God help us all.
God blesses everyone.
And bless us everyone, of course.
Yes, of course. Good to see you.
Thanks, Natalie.
Jazz has the hand up.
Jazz.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Jazz.
I'm hiding behind the camera.
That's all right.
So I just had like an epiphany last week. And I was like, I always hear you speakers talk about emptiness. And I'm like, how come I don't understand what they mean by emptiness? But the whole time I was phrasing it like there's nothing behind it. Like the word God, there's no meaning behind it. music. There's no sense anymore of it means something to me. Like before I would listen to like a slow song and like have a fantasy of a lover, or play this big drawn out story and start crying, and it just doesn't, there's nothing behind it. And that's what you guys mean by emptiness. And this whole time I'm like, where can I get this emptiness? Where am I gonna get?
Well, you can't get it, and you definitely don't want it.
Yeah, I know, but it was like, oh, my brain exploded. I was like, what? Like, I'm already like, I can't say I'm already experiencing that. Obviously, I'm not, but it already means nothing. Like
Mm,
connection, the universe, love, the plot. Like it just doesn't carry any weight anymore.
okay.
Like I used to work out and be like, oh, I need to get endorphins. So I can't. It's just working out. It's just, if it happens, it happens. Like, so I'm wanted to ask you something. Maybe I'm just being an airhead again about separation and not understand, like I'm being a blonde right now. But maybe like when you guys say there's no separation, like maybe I'm not getting it right. Like I'm not.
Well, well, you're definitely not getting it right. No one's getting it right. That's it.
I'm constantly left with, I don't know what you're talking about, or
No,
I'm
I
caught.
don't
I'm
know.
caught.
I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah. So I'm, even when I talk to my non-dual friends, like I'm constantly just, I have no idea what we're talking about or what's, and maybe there's a piece of me that wants to get this, like,
Oh
or
yeah,
and that hasn't fell off. Like it's like there's more. There's a piece that there's like,
yeah.
because it's not okay here every day. Like I don't
No.
feel this like overall okayness like the way I did when I have like glimpses and stuff. So I always think there's more, but that's just the character, the person that wants it. I know that, but
Hmm.
I don't fucking know what I'm saying, but whatever.
Well, I really. No, it's perfectly human. I mean, it's totally naturally human to think, oh yeah, well, there must be some other human beings who are getting more okayness. I mean, oh, I've had some okayness, but why am I not getting it all the time? I've felt love, but why is there not a constant bliss? All of those, all of those fantasies. But feelings, thoughts, emotion, sensation just all comes and goes. And no one is better than the other. All we've
Yeah,
all we've done is been conditioned to think that happiness is success and sadness and confusion. So clarity and happiness, there we have it, clarity, happiness. Now we're there. Oh no,
yeah,
confusion and sadness. Oh, maybe a bit of anger, rage, discontentment, envy, jealousy, the shit that I thought I wouldn't feel anymore. So I'm not there. So then I can get self-love's that, because then I'm still got a purpose. The emptiness, I loved what you said about the emptiness. The emptiness is that essentially all our human ideals don't exist. They're all empty.
yeah.
So purpose and meaning are the two big ones.
I think what gets me, like my friends will say to me, you'll just get to a point where you wouldn't care. You wouldn't either or for anything. You're kind of just neutral. And I'm like, no, I still get pissed off if my sister calls me drunk. Like I still like, ugh, you fucking kidding me? Like, and they're like, you'll get to a point where you just let people be. And I'm like, I don't I don't
Oh.
feel that way.
Well, it's a bit, I mean, what the fuck does it matter? That's what I want to say. What is it? What are you hoping for? Some sort, so are they're suggesting that you'll become some kind of saint?
Well, they just don't care either or something about if a lover calls or a lover doesn't or
Well,
someone, and I'm,
I mean, have you ever heard such shit in all of your life? You know, to be so that nothing will ever touch. It's this whole notion that what is touched is you. And if without you, then there would be nothing to be touched. There'll be nothing to be triggered. There'll be that you'll be invulnerable. So this, I think a lot of people are attracted to non-duality, probably not this kind, but the more spiritual kind, because it does kind of offer, or it can certainly sound like what's on offer is some kind of invulnerability to what we call suffering, human
yeah.
pain. You know, the things that we don't like about being human, about being me. And so self says, well, that's being me. And without me, there wouldn't be any of that. Well, it's bullshit. There was never me. There is no me. There is no without me. So you'll just be liberated from the idea that it's yours.
Or
And
you should or shouldn't.
not just the idea, the very felt sense that you own those feelings. There is no ownership of the feelings. There's just the feelings.
Or even like that it should happen or shouldn't happen. You'd be just released from.
But the thoughts now, again, there's a myth here as well. You'll never say that shouldn't happen and that should happen, because that's only me would say that. Bullshit. It's all bullshit, all of it. It's not me who says any of those things.
It's just the conditioning.
The human being is conditioned with all of those shoulds from the age of 3, and they fucking stick like glue. Now, they don't stick like glue to you. That was the myth. They're not yours. They're not stuck to you. The human being they will just appear because they can't not. Just like you brush your teeth like your mum taught you to brush your teeth. So you say this should happen just like your mum taught you to say this should happen.
Gosh, and there's just like this little nagging, like you haven't got it yet, and it's like, I know that is bullshit, but it's just like hanging around like, oh,
No,
and
Jazz,
I'll say it.
Jazz, you haven't got it yet.
I'll never get it.
I'm really happy to tell you haven't got it yet. And I'm even happier to tell you won't fucking get it.
I know this.
I know you know it. I know you know it. But you can't help but still be, you've been playing the game a lifetime, seemingly, of I could get it. Well, you can't.
It's fucking crazy. It's like, I know I'm not gonna fucking get it because there's nobody here to get it. And it's still like, yeah, it's just like this repetitive little annoying. Anyways, I just wanted to talk to you and say hi.
Oh, it's lovely to talk to you. But there's nothing, it's not really that you can't get it either, Jazz. It's not that you can get it or not get it. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's nothing.
That if there's
There's neither.
So you can't get nothing and you can't not get nothing.
Yeah, it's neither. It's just blah.
So but the whole notion, I mean, this really annihilates any notion that the way a human being behaves or feels or thinks has anything to do with anything. It just doesn't.
It's like just conditioning playing out.
Every human being is just behaving as they behave naturally. It's the innocence of everything. Is just, I mean, that may be the main reason I talk about unconditional love. No one's at fault.
Yeah.
Your sister can't help but be how she is.
I know, she tells me that. She says, Well, I'm just doing what I'm doing. Why don't you just accept it? And I said, oh my God.
No, she can't tell you that, because if you can't accept it, you can't accept it. You should tell her that next time.
It's just, there's this fantasy, you know, in our head that like, we're going to be godly and we're going to be okay with, you know, and I have like such a dysfunctional family that I'm not okay with a lot of things. I'm not okay. Like, yeah, don't call me drunk, alcoholic. I don't want to hear you.
So the okayness, because you talked about okayness, the okay is that with all the things that are not okay, that's the okayness. That all the things that are not okay are okay. That's the okayness.
But it doesn't have to be okay for me.
No.
But they're okay.
So what I'm saying is okay that you're not okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course it is.
Gosh, this thing's such a mind fuck sometimes. Jeez. Anyways, thank you so much. I don't want to take too much time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John.
Kate has a hand up.
Catherine.
Oh gosh. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to hear everybody.
I've lost my voice.
I
Hi,
know.
Kate.
Hi.
Hi.
I love to hear everybody. I always just am like, yeah, I know that. I know that. I sort of feel like I should not have raised my hand now because I might just send us down, I don't know, the never ending hole. I just keep, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah.
I just keep thinking about, you know, like when you say, I don't know that, but I don't doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like without an I, those are both the same. And it's like, why do they feel, one feels affirmative and one feels negative, and yet it's saying the same thing. There's no difference in knowing and unknowing.
No, not
It's
really.
sort of the same with I don't know and I don't doubt. There is no I to do either one. So that, I don't know. That's just why I don't want to, we'll talk about it later.
If we have to, yeah.
I know. But you know what I'm saying? It's like that is sort of what closes the gap and is the stillness. That neither one is a is a movement.
No, what does seem to not occur is this this clear delineation between knowing and not knowing.
Yes.
That's just not true. You know,
right.
I mean, this whole notion of we know what we know and we know what we don't know.
Right.
No. I mean, I just don't buy any of that anymore at all.
No, it has here gotten more.
So now the flavor of what I say I know, and
yes.
the flavor of what I say I don't know. I mean, really, it's all vanilla. It's all of it's all of one flavor.
It's one flavor, or as the Buddhists say, one taste. I mean, you know, I like to say because it's all thought and it's made of the same thing. That's tricky to say because it's not a thing, but it can start to.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be vanilla.
No, no.
It could be rum and raisin.
Oh, God bless you. I know. Don't even talk anymore.
Oh, my voice is gone now.
Yeah, it's gone.
Mm.
Yeah. I think I was thinking about it more because then we've had lots of Facebook talks about awareness in the last few days. And even if it's even with awareness,
Who are you?
whatever that
Who are you
is, right?
talking to about awareness?
Just my sweet, lovely Michael's had quite a few just questions of, if there is only awareness, who's going to know it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, duality, whatever. You know what? I'm getting off this. I'm getting off it right now.
Okay.
Gonna send us all down the rabbit hole. Okay.
Okay.
Save your voice. Goodbye. Lovely to see you all.
Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Well, I guess I'm in the wrong group as usual. All groups are. No, one time I went to this astrologer and he said, stay away from groups. But it seems to be, it seems to be true, because it's just like, I want to start giving people advice, and I want to tell, well, that's because of this, and but like, either I'm going to have my own YouTube channel, which I never am going to, but it seems like that's the only option, in this reality right now, is YouTube. Like, I don't know, but anyway, because I started, I have low self-worth, right? So I'm like, well, who would ever listen to me? It's like, but apparently there's enough people in the world to, but
well, you'd be amazed, Lisa. There's people turn up to listen to me every week.
I know. I was trying to give you a donation, and it was so stressful. And I was like, does he even need the money? Does he know how poor I am? Does he give a shit? This is what I'm going through.
Lisa, you don't have to give me a donation. It's
okay. But this is how I get. So it's just, but my parents.
Everyone wealthy who's watching, you fucking give them some, but Lisa, you don't have to. No.
My mother hated rich people. See, I inherited a lot of
Oh, they can't help it, Lisa. Don't be horrible to the poor.
No, my father was a millionaire, though. That's
well, she was resentful of him.
But he used to say, cheer up, you'll be dead soon. That was
oh, that's a good phrase.
Yeah. He had these statements that were just so, like, he said, don't trust anybody and cheer up, you'll be dead soon.
Well, yeah, they're guaranteed to make yourself very miserable, both those.
But I think I learned that at a young age. It wasn't like I had to have some glory time,
The first one's pretty good. The second one about don't trust anyone, that'll make you really lonely.
Anyway, I just feel like all I have is myself, and the concept of no self is, it's okay, but it's like, if I don't have myself, man, I might, I don't have it's nothing, what I'm saying?
No, Lisa, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying.
Well, it is what I'm saying. I'm saying without you, there is nothing, no. But it just so happens that nothing is everything. There you go. So without yourself.
It's like the Beatles. It's the Beatles.
Oh, it's very hippie. This message gets more hippie every week.
I just want to listen to the Beatles now, but
yeah.
I just, Deepak Chopra, I'm not a fan of his really, but he said something about like the human.
You're not allowed to quote Deepak Chopra.
Okay.
I'm joking. Go on.
But he just said that the human being is a process. It's not a thing, like we're in a process, almost like a biological, we're being eaten by bacteria. We're being, you know what I'm saying? Viruses. We're just.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a scientific story. Yeah.
Anyway. My big fantasy was that one day somebody would just like love me and be like, I just think you're amazing, and but anyway, that's a fantasy. So, I don't know if I'll ever come back because I'm just like, I am neurotic and I have so many games going in my head about rich people and poor people and successful people and unsuccessful people and people that belong and, you know, like the whole new non-duality community, they look like they're in this clique of like, oh, you know, anyway, it's just, you know, I
Well,
like,
well, whether you feel you're in the wrong group or not, Lisa, you're very welcome here.
I appreciate it. And if I ever get rich, I'll send
No,
you $10.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.
Anita has a hand up.
Anita.
Yeah, hi there. Yeah, I like it to play, of course. I'm just like you. But I also like to say a quote from Deepak Chopra, because he was saying, look as a child with amazing, yeah, I'm a little bit problems with the language. So with
I read quite a lot of Deepak Chopra.
want rose. Okay, I can. So look with surprise, with the freshness. That's what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that very much, that quote. It's the same in non-duality. It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's come out with some pearls, but boy, is it wordy. It's very, you know, it's a bit too clever for me. I'm a bit too simplistic, I think. I found it quite heavy going.
Oh, I only know a few quotes of
Yeah,
him.
and there are some nice ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the most amazing thing is, of course, is from what Lisa said, that this isn't a process. There is no process.
No, there is no process.
No.
No, it isn't. No. I have here, you know, I'm inside, but I've all windows open and I can hear the birds so lovely. It's so clear and wonderful. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, you can't, bird song is, I mean, human song is great. But you can listen to the birds for free every day, can't you?
Yes. Yes. Looking forward to see you again.
Oh, yeah, sometime. I haven't got anything booked for a live talk at the moment, but
Okay. Then we're gonna make an appointment.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Anita. Well, thanks for coming over. Has anyone got anything they'd really like to ask or share before we finish? Thanks, Johannes. It's only a cold, but I'm a bit prone to man flu. You know what that is? It's what men have when they have a cold. I'm going to go.
I get man flu as well.
You get man flu as well. I'm like, really, I'm terribly sorry for myself. Yeah, there you go. You'd think without self, you wouldn't feel sorry for yourself. No. If a human being is naturally one who likes to feel very sorry for themselves when they're ill, there's a lot of pleasure in it. Oh, I don't think I can manage that kind of thing, you know. Catherine knows exactly what I'm talking about. She's laughing her head off. When you're ill.
I just go straight to bed, you know, I don't do anything.
No.
Even if it's just a cold. I remember completely failing exams because this cold, I couldn't answer any question, you know, it's just completely, there's nothing else except that cold. So.
No, yeah, I'm a bit like that. Sophie.
Hi, team. Hi. I just had this funny question, like if you can still feel sorry for yourself, in there, if there is still a me, can you still love yourself?
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to say yes, won't I? Yeah.
It's a bit tricky, I know.
I'll have to say yes. Yeah, I would say anything can appear. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it isn't. But so I'll have to say, yeah, it isn't self that loves itself. No, but yes.
Yeah.
And it isn't self that feels sorry for itself. But yes.
Okay. Anyway, I hope you're gonna feel better soon.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm playing up to it a little bit.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming, everyone. Nice to see you. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Tim. Nice to see you. Hope you get better soon.
Yeah, I'm on the mend, I think.
Feel better, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. I hope Lisa will come
Yeah.
back. I'm a huge Beatles fan too.
Thank you, Tim.
Stop recording.